Hey folks, I'm Mike. Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/Inkdependence. It keeps this blog ad-free. Hey folks, this is Inkdependence, and today we're looking at this ink. This is Sailor Irori. And as you can see in that smear there, it is a bright red ink. It comes in a box that looks like this. It's all flowery and such. These came out about not quite a year ago. They did debut out at the DC Pen Show last year. You could try them, but you couldn't buy them, I think, until, I don't know, September or October. And I've actually had it in a pen since then. So that's the box. Throw that over here. This is the bottle it comes in. Sailor bottles are sort of these short, squat ones with a big, wide opening. They generally come with a small inkwell in there, but I have removed it. You can check out my video on how to remove that inkwell if you'd like to see how I do it, but I've taken it out of all these bottles, so you're not really going to see inkwells in here, but you do see this bright, vivid red color. It is pretty awesome. Okay, so let's take a look at it on the paper right here. As you can see, very bright, vivid red. It means some serious red business. I've been using this for grading papers, for making notes, for all kinds of things. Like I said, since like October, and I haven't taken it out of that pen. Makes me think I actually really need to clean out this pen. I mean, I've put different nibs in it and that sort of thing, so it's not dirty, but yeah, put something else in this pen. This is a slightly wet ink. It's always got great flow. I've never had any serious problems with it getting started, or really any problems at all that I can remember. And I've had it in several different pens because I'm really a big fan of it. It was great with the flex nib, even on the copy paper. It performs well on all kinds of crappy stuff. So here's the copy paper sample. You can see more pictures of this stuff, close-ups and all that jazz on the blog at inkdependence.com. But here you can see there's really nothing going on as far as feathering or any of that nonsense. And on the back, you can see there's some minor bleed, but this is with the franklin-christoph flex nib. I had this in 2 pens that I did these tests with, and the flex nib definitely puts down a lot of ink, and you can only see intermittent bleeds from the other, which is kind of a medium-ish nib. Just really nothing, just show through on even this borderline terrible office paper. So there you go. Performs well even on terrible paper, which is one of those things you need to know if you're going to be grading papers with it, because students always use the worst paper available, probably because it's the cheapest. All right. As I said, I had this in 2 pens. Firstly is this one. This is a franklin-christoph Model 20. This is the jade color. If I get up close, there you can see the dots in the material, I believe. That makes it jade and not just the what do they call it? Antique green or something like that. But this is a really cool color. And this nib is the franklin-christoph flex nib. This is actually the Flex Sig, which is sort of a stubbed flex nib. It's very cool. It looks extra cool with those cutouts. This is actually the picture that's on the top of my my YouTube blog, YouTube channel, because I just think these cutouts are gorgeous. Anywho, this puts out a lot of ink, and the paper could totally handle it. From Irori. The other pen is this one, which is a Shafer Tyrannis. And the Shafer Tyrannis is one you don't see a whole lot of. It's got this really long, exaggerated clip, which I like a lot. It's got sort of squared off ends. And on the inside, it's got this big gold bar across the middle that just says Shafer on it. It has this wee tiny little nib. This is a weirdo of a pen. You don't really see them around all that often. They don't make them anymore. But this is I think it was marked a medium nib or something, but it's pretty small. I'd say it's more like a fine. Anyway, no flow problems with this. And this is actually a little bit on the dry side as a pen, but no problems with Irori. As far as commentary and that sort of thing, look, this is one of my favorite inks, and I am shocked I never actually reviewed it when it first came out. I don't know why. I reviewed many of the others, but I don't think I ever really finished doing the whole reviews. So I'm going to look back through and see which ones need to come next. But this one definitely, this is a must-buy, I think, from the Sailor's Jentle line. All right, so I've compared it to a bunch of things, and really the closest thing is Robert Oster's Fire Engine Red, which I've got in this Sailor pen right here. This was a request from Jim, one of my patrons. He said, hey, I really want you to do Fire Engine Red. So I'm like, all right, cool, I have that one. I'll ink it up. It's pretty close. It's darker and more, I don't know, if you compare it directly to the Sailor Irori right above it, Sailor Irori ends up looking a little bit, I don't know, it's got like a little bit of a fuchsia tone to it almost. It's a very bright red, whereas Fire Engine Red is definitely a red, but it's a little bit darker, a little more subdued perhaps. Next one down is Montegrappa Red, which is really more purpley compared to these. Platinum Cassis Black, which has matured and oxidized into this sort of more maroon color. Franklin-Christoph Sweet Maroon, Monteverde Canyon Rust, and Papier Plume's Red Beans and Rice. I didn't have Shafer Red inked up in anything, but it's not really all that close. We'll see that when we look at some of the reds in my my ink journal. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look at that ink journal right quick. So here is Sailor Irori in the ink journal. And you can see some of that gold sheen right over here. If I can get the light to hit, there we go. That looks good. And also in the cross out, I was writing this was Ricky Cha. It is not at all. Ricky Cha is also awesome. It's this green up here, but it's not red. I think I was just looking at that and writing it. Compare that to, this is Script Red down here, which is definitely darker and flatter. Script Red is a perfectly good red. I like it a lot, but it doesn't have the character that Irori has. I mean, look at that thing. That's pretty awesome. All right, let's see, what else have I got? There's franklin-christoph's Ink 17, which is more orangey. You got the Shafer Script Red again. Oh, wait. Ink 17, yeah, there's just two different looks for that ink. Interesting. All right, what else? Montegrappa Red is in here, which definitely comes out more pink on this Tomoe River paper. And then from the Shafer, on the Shafer you have the same kind of bright red color, but again, just a finer line. It works perfectly well in either of those kinds of nibs. On more normal-ish paper, this is a currently inked journal from Pen Habit. Matt has these. He's just gotten a bunch of the Inky Fingers journals in, and I've got to get a couple of those because I'm about to run out of pages in this one. And it looks very good on this wheat straw paper that he's using for these. So if you want to get your hands on one of these, I would say act quickly, because apparently they don't make this paper in the large format anymore, and so it's going to be hard for Matt to source any of that in the future. So get on that. All right. Let's go ahead and do our water drop test here. Try not to blast water all over the page. Ooh, come on. It takes a little bit to get these. Now, there we go. Now we're moving. Sometimes the piston wants to stick just a little bit. All right. Plenty of orange coming off there, and actually a little bit of a pink tone, which is kind of interesting. I wasn't really expecting that. At least not to show up here. But a little orange and pink and bright red coming up there. Let's see if anything's left over. Go ahead and mop it up. Carefully, carefully. I have enough blotches on my desk right now. Yeah. All right, so that's what came up on the paper towel. And that's what's left over. So yeah, totally readable still. It definitely, a lot of the ink came up, but no lines disappeared or anything like that. So yeah, some mild water resistance, although it will make a mess. So there's that. All right, go ahead and take a look at that chromatography right quick. And this is what you end up with, which just kind of looks like a fire to me. It's pretty great. This is where the original line was, of course, and then going up you end up with pinks and fuchsias and like bright red oranges, and then a tinge of just like lemony yellow up here at the top. Very cool color dispersion in this guy, and man, this is just such a great ink. So definitely, if you can't tell already, I think this is an ink that you definitely ought to get. This has been Sailor Irori. I am Mike. This is Ink Dependence. You can find me online at all the normal places, such as Instagram, where I am at Ink Dependence, on Twitter, where I'm at Madison, and on my blog at www.inkdependence.com. See y'all later. Peace out. All right, folks, if you enjoyed this content, please take a look at these other videos that you will hopefully also find helpful. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, all those, hit the bell, whatever, all that kind of stuff. And if you want to go to Patreon and become a patron, that'd be amazing.